Is that why your nickname was General Butt Naked?
Yes, because I was naked, because I fought naked.
Hey there, folks. We are the Brothers Murph.
Indeed, I'm Nick Murphy.
I'm Mike Murphy. We are coming at you with a Hot 6. Nick, what's a Hot 6?
A Hot 6 is going to be a list of 6 different things. A lot of times it'll be games or something like that, but it's kind of like a top 10 list, but instead it's going to be a top 6 list. But we're cool, so we call it a Hot 6 list.
Hot 6 list.
Because that's hot!
Man, that's a Hot 6 right there.
Ooh,
You just gave us a Hot 6.
Hot 8, boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be a Hot 6
It'd be a great
list.
8, if anything.
Great 8. Salacious 7.
Trademarked. Ooh.
TM.
Yeah, so we're gonna stick with Hot 6s.
Yeah.
Easier than 10, better than 5.
Yes, indeed. So this is going to be our Hot 6 games at Strategicon. We just went to Strategicon 2017.
here in LA.
Yeah, right here in LA. You can check out a video of our vlog for that on our channel. And so we got to play a whole bunch of new games. I think we played like 10, 11, somewhere new games to us at least, while we were there. So we want to talk about what our favorite 6 games were from the convention.
Yeah, and I'd say for this list, you'll see certain things that maybe appear lower on our list than you think they oughta. And really, we're trying to keep in mind that we're at a convention and what things are really maximized at the convention. And so it's almost a little bit of like the top 6 experiences at Strategicon. A little bit. Just putting that out there so people don't be coming at us like, how dare you? This is my favorite game. My grandma and I play it.
Back in the old
Dude,
West,
if you have a
apparently.
grandma that plays like dope board games, your grandma's metal.
Yeah, that's true.
That's awesome.
Your grandma's
I
awesome.
want to hang with your grandma.
And in this particular Hot 6, we're going to do a combined list. There are some of our lists that are going to be combined. Some of them will be separate. We each have our own. The main reason why we combine stuff, we're going to be combining stuff a lot, is because we mostly play games together. We also have very, very similar taste in games. So, like, a lot of, like, in this situation, like, what we did is we wrote down our top 10 games from the con.
Yep.
And it turns out our top 6 were the same games. They weren't in the same order, but like, so we're like, it's going to be boring if we just like have the same games said twice, you know.
So we each made our list and we assigned point values to that list. So your number 1 gets 6 points, and on downward, your number 6 gets 1 point. And we came up with a list that is the most fitting of both of our experiences, and that's what we are going to get into. I'm vamping.
You gotta,
Right now.
y'all building the hype. Alright, so our number 6 game at Strategicon is going to be, Mike,
Photosynthesis. It is a great game, almost a little abstracty, where you're basically trying to grow a super rad forest and acquire the most light points and grow happy, healthy trees that go through their entire life cycle. And you're trying to get to the center of the forest and be king of the forest, I guess.
Yeah, really, you're just trying to get, everyone has different trees, and different colored trees, and so you're really just trying to get your trees to get the most light, and you're trying to block other people's trees, because if your tree is in front of someone else's, you cast a shadow on them, they don't get any light. But the problem is the sun keeps moving around the board.
Like it do.
So you might be blocked out in this turn, but then the next turn when the sun moves, now you're back in the light. And it is a very cool, beautiful components. It's by Blue Orange Games. They always have great components. And man, it is a cool, beautiful game. And this, I would say, is one of those games it's our number 6. And this is actually the only one, when we each did our individual list, that we matched up on. We both had Photosynthesis as our number 6. And this is like kind of the hot game right now. Like everyone's playing it, selling out all over the place. And this will most likely go up in both of our ranks. Yes. But in terms of like at the convention, it was just me and you playing.
Yeah. We didn't
kind
have
of in a
full
corner of the
player count.
lobby. Super fun. But like in a great time, but like wasn't like, oh, this is a convention, like yeah, like, you know. It was just a good game that will definitely rise up, but you know,
100%. It's a really great game. We really can't wait to get it whenever that becomes available.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's number 6 simply because it just happened to be me and him playing kind of in a quiet moment of the day. But great game.
Yeah, really, really wonderful.
Let's get on to number 5. Okay, so number 5 on the list is going to be
Near and far.
One Lonely Bird.
One bird is far away.
Just get shot.
All the rest of the birds are really close. Like, Gary, what are you doing? I'm the far one.
This segment doesn't work unless one of us is far away.
Near and Far is the latest game by Mr. Ryan Lockett in Red Raven Games. He's done Islebound. Above and Below is probably his most popular game. And this is kind of the sequel to Above and Below, but it isn't really anything like Above and Below, other than the fact that they take place in the same universe. They both have a storytelling element of them. Near and Far is a game where you're going on different quests. It's actually a campaign game. There's a big book that has different maps in it, and each game you're playing on a different map in that atlas. It's super, super cool. You're going to different parts in the land, and you're doing quests, and you're getting to read things out of the quest book, and you get to decide certain things, but then you constantly going back to town to get new adventures to go with you to make it easier for you to do things. It is just outstanding. It's a game that, the second we heard about it, because we already have Above and Below, we were like, yeah, we're going to get that. And then we know it's not really similar to Above and Below, but we're like, doesn't matter. We're definitely going to get it. We got it while we were at Strategicon. We actually bought it, and we played it, and it didn't disappoint. Didn't disappoint.
And we just played the teaching game. So the first map is purely meant to teach you how the game works, because it is quite different from Above and Below. And already we know that we made a good purchase, I think. So we're really excited to spend the kind of next month or so going through the whole campaign, and maybe bringing a few of our friends that are Above and Below fans into this world now. So it's low on our list per the convention, purposes, but it's going to be way high on our personal list for the year.
For sure.
Let's get into number 4.
All right, number 4 is what, Mike?
Where? Words.
Where? Words.
No, it's not where words. Where words.
Where words, like we're from the deep
words.
south.
Where are those words?
Where they really pronounce that H.
It's where words, folks.
It is. The new game by Bezier Games.
Yes, it's a new Bezier game, and it's in the kind of universe of One Night Ultimate Vampire, Werewolf, Alien,
Ultimate
Neighbors.
Werewolf. Yeah, there is a billion of those games. Ted Alspach of Bezier Games, as Tom Vassell from Dice Tower constantly says, he just puts werewolves in everything. Doesn't really matter what.
Yeah.
I hear there's new Suburbia coming out with werewolves in it.
Excellent. I can't
Why
wait.
not?
But you know what? It's a winning formula, so I totally get it. And as long as they're coming out with fun products, hey, I'm fine. Just don't sit back, rest on your laurels, keep pushing it. And Where Words, for me, is a breath of fresh air. This is a great social deduction game mixed with 20 questions, and it uses the app very well. And Mr. Eric Summerer does narration for us to help keep the game moving, so everything is nice and tight. And it takes a lot of kind of the fiddliness of One Night Ultimate Vampire and streamlines it. So the only thing that kind of got us down on One Night Ultimate Vampire, and we do quite like it, is that if we're sitting at a table, you have to move tokens around, and if you're not at the right table, it's really logistically difficult to pull off.
It's very easy to hear people moving, and so especially if you're on something like a couch where if someone's shifting their weight, you can really tell. And so if someone says like, vampires or werewolves, wake up and move, and you feel someone next to you move around, you're like, okay, that guy's a werewolf.
It's kind of a thing. So this one's great because it's all in the app for the most part. You know your role already, and all you have to do if you're the werewolf is open your eyes, look at the phone, which will have the word that the main group at large is going to be trying to guess, and then you close your eyes. So there's a number of villagers. There's a mayor who's going to be answering the questions in using these yes or no tokens. There's villagers who are going to be trying to guess the word, and there's a werewolf among the group. Now, the werewolf is going to be trying to ask questions that move the group away from the answer.
You're trying to deter.
Right.
So
you're going to
ask
have
4 minutes to figure out the word.
Exactly, but you can't be too obvious, or else the group, who, if they don't get the word, get the opportunity to try to find the werewolf, they're going to pin you immediately if you're pushing them toward banana when it's really the Declaration of Independence that we're all trying to get.
And there's also a seer who's on the villagers team. They also know what the word is, and their job is to try to guide their team, all the villagers, towards the word. But again, they can't be too obvious, because if the villagers guess the word, then the werewolf reveals himself and has one chance to try to figure out who the seer is.
Right.
So they go, Mike's the seer. And then if Mike is a seer, that even though they got the answer right, the word right in the 20 questions, the werewolf still wins. And yeah, it was an absolute blast. We played it like 5-6 times in a row.
Each round is like 5, maybe 6 minutes maximum.
Tops.
It's quick.
I'm not a huge 20 questions guy. Like, I like 20 questions just fine, but like, it's not like we play 20 questions in the car every time we're on a road trip. Like, we've never done that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I was always kind of like, am I going to like this that much? And I loved it. I loved it.
It was quite good.
Yes, indeed.
That's enough about werewords. That's enough.
Let's get on top 3. Top 3, baby.
Top 3. So, for our top 3, Nicholas, we have what?
Ooh, we have Down. Force. That's me. Just in case people are confused, it's Downforce by Restoration Games.
Restoration Games.
Yes, indeed. Man, is this our first Restoration Games?
It is, finally.
We keep hearing about how great their games have been doing, yeah.
We just haven't had the opportunity to run into one, and we finally got to see Downforce, which is probably the one I've been wanting to play the most.
Yeah.
And what do you do in it?
It's a racing game. It's a game where you are kind of like Formula 1 kind of cars and stuff, and you're racing around a track. And the track, like any good racing game, has choke points, has like bottlenecks, so people can get behind you, and you can't move anymore, things like that. But you're constantly playing cars, and the cars that you play, a lot of times will move multiple cars on the track.
Right.
It's not just you moving your car; you have to move other people's cars too. But you want to move them and play your cards in a certain way where it's advantageous for you, but messing everyone else up. Mm-hmm. So essentially, you move ahead, and then you bottleneck everyone behind you and block them in so they can't really move. But to me, the coolest thing about this game is I love games with multiple ways to win. And this is one of those games, because really, winning the race is beneficial to you, don't get me wrong. But it really is not like the main way to win, in my opinion, because there's 3 parts on the track. These 3 big yellow lines. Once someone crosses that line, everyone then has to bet on who they think is going to win the race. Now, they don't need to bet on themselves. They can bet on anyone.
Right.
And then when you pass the second yellow line, you bet again on who you think is winning the race. So you have a little more information. If someone is way ahead, you could be like, well, I think they're going to win. And then you come around the third line, you get to bet a third time.
Yeah.
And you can make, if you get all 3 of those bets right, you can make a lot of money. And the whole point of the game is to have the most money. And then you also get money based on what place your car finishes the race in. But there are times where I came almost in last place in the race, but bet really well, and I didn't win, but I got really close to winning. And I think that the fact that it benefits you to help other people out if you've bet on them. You're like, you know what? I'm not worrying about my car. I'm going to try to get Mike across the finish line because I've been putting all my money on Mike. Yeah. And I think that's just such an interesting idea. It's such a cool, weird way to go about a racing game, but it so works.
Yeah, and it also helps mitigate the fact that when you're dealing cards, there's some factor of luck involved. You might get a bunch of cards that really help you or other cards that aren't going to really help much at all, but you can mitigate that by, I can help out this orange card get over the line. You better believe I'm going to make some money off that
Bet
card.
on orange all day. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, and that's super cool, and we played 2 games. The second time we played around, I think we all had a better idea of some strategy, and it turned into a really interesting game. Can't wait to play again. All I want to see Restoration Games do is make more tracks.
Yeah.
Just more tracks, double-sided maps, and we'll be good to go for a long time.
Yeah, pretty much. Just pull a ticket to ride. Just keep making new maps. I'll buy them. I don't care.
Do one with a flip. I don't know how that works. This is crazy. And do a Fast and Furious edition with Nas. Yeah.
That's true.
I think that's...
But Vin Diesel's the whole time got to be sitting on the side going, family.
Family.
He is too fast, and he is too furious.
And let's get to number 2.
I didn't even put that together. That's awesome. I just tell you.
It's pretty dope.
Ooh. Mike, what's number 2?
Viral.
Let me drink this hot tea because I feel terrible.
I'm feeling a bit sickish. Getting a bit grey. It is viral. This is a super fun game in which you are playing as germs.
We bought it. We had to buy it. It was so good.
Let's bust this bad boy out.
It was so good.
I mean, come on. You're playing as different diseases and germs that are infecting and hopefully ravaging the host body that you are in. We played this at the 3-player count. It is crazy fun and inventive. It was just so interesting that, like, it's anatomically correct. So the way that things connect to each other organ-wise, because you're going into different organs and passing through the veins to get up to the brain and the heart and the lungs and so forth, it's all kind of dealt with in a somewhat accurate but still fun, artistically manner. And it's just a super interesting theme. I don't know what else to say, but it was just crazy fun.
Again, I like Photosynthesis. I like weird themes. You know, that's what one of our favorite games is Dungeon Pets, and we bought this game. We didn't know what worker placement was. This was very early into our, like, when we got really into gaming,
right? And
we bought it solely off a theme, just because we loved it.
I'm like, there's monsters and they poop and stuff. Yep.
Yeah, totally. And that's kind of how we feel about this one. It was like, I love the theme, and it's a Dice Tower Essential game, and so that means the guys on the Dice Tower, who, you know, we're on the Dice Tower, we know those guys, and they really liked it enough to get it printed with Arcane Wonders. And man, I did not expect to like this one as much as I did. I just, I don't know. It's not that I had anything against it. It's just, when I looked at it and stuff, I was like, man, it looks great in terms of, like, the art direction, all that kind of stuff. It's very clean looking. It seems like a fun game, but we played it, and I loved it. I love that everyone has their own little disease, and you're just moving around. You have area control. It's a pretty mean game. Like, we played it with his girlfriend Casey, who particularly does not like super mean games. And we're not real mean gamers either. We're kind of teddy bears. We like a lot of games that are like, there's not too much crazy interaction. It's just not really our jam. And so, but this one is mean because you're constantly, like, killing each other and, like, you get out of the liver and you get out of here and all this kind of stuff.
I'm gonna
but
suck you
I
up.
think because the theme is so much fun, it doesn't really make you mad, you know? It's not like you're like, oh man, come on. It's just like, I just kind of giggle when someone, like, just cuts my head off and all my disease is gone. I'm just like, hey, that's funny.
Yeah.
It just makes me giggle.
Leaving you like, don't even worry, bro. I don't need to be in the liver. I'm taking over the lungs. You'll see.
Yeah.
You'll see.
You'll see.
I'm bringing this dude down.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it. All three of us really enjoyed it. This one was one where I was like, I might like this game. I think it'll be decent for me. And it ended up being top for me. It was so amazing.
Excellent game. Super fun. Super excited to have it and own it and teach a bunch of people.
Yeah, we went and bought it. We had to.
I think it's going to be a crowd pleaser for sure.
Yep.
All right. I think without
Is
further
it time?
adieu.
For that,
Adieu.
I'm sorry, people from France.
I know.
I'm sorry. We're dumb Americans. Don't listen to us.
We love you all, seriously, and we just love doing funny voices. I'm sorry. Your voices aren't funny. Our versions of these voices are funny. Anyway, let's get right into number one.
Alrighty, Mike, take us home, baby. Also, because this is your favorite experience of the whole con. This was everything.
Yes.
This was Mike's. With you says as of right now, this was like your number one game that you were like, I just want to play this game.
Yes.
Yeah, this was like your top bucket list game right now.
This has been on my list of like, dude, I just want to freaking play this game so bad for a long time, months and months and months.
Yeah.
And we got to play it at the con, and it absolutely met and exceeded my expectations for it. It was the highlight of the con for me, and that game is Captain Sonar.
Yeah.
Bing! I can't do a good Sonar right now. It doesn't even matter. I think we've been pinged. This game was so crazy fun. I just can't even handle it. I want to play it again right now.
Yeah.
It's me and him, and we're 4 rolls each. This is a real-time submarine battle game, kind of like Battleship on all the crack.
Yeah, on all of the crack they've ever found.
Yes, and you're split into 2 teams of 4, and you are split on your team into specific roles on the submarine. And so we have the captain, of course. That was me.
This one.
We have the navigator, who is trying to figure out the location of the other team's submarine. We have the first mate, who is readying torpedoes and sonar and doing drones to help the navigator locate the other submarine. And we have the engineer, who was Nick. Yep. And they're basically trying to keep the submarine alive.
Yeah, just everything's breaking. I'm just trying to fix stuff over here.
Yeah, and so this is a really fun game where, again, it's all real time. So we're over here doing our thing. We don't have to wait for the other team to make a move or anything. But we do have to be constantly communicating with each other because parts of the ship are breaking down, which means, hey, if we go west again, we're going to get damaged. Yep. Like, we really need to go north right now, Cap.
Like, all right, we're ready to fire a torpedo. And I kept feeling bad because I was the engineer. They're like, torpedoes are ready. And I was like, no, they're not.
Yeah.
Because we had to.
The torpedo systems were down.
We had to fix it. And the way the game works is, at least for the engineer, you have to go certain directions to, like, Every time you move, something breaks down.
Yes.
Something breaks.
There's a malfunction.
And so you have to move certain ways. Like, oh, you have to go west and then north, and that fixes it. It's weird, but like it totally works. And so it's constant. Like the first mate is like, drones are ready. And I'd be like, no, they're not. And they're like, go west, go west. Okay, now drones are ready.
Yeah,
and so
fire off drone and you know.
And it was just.
Meanwhile, the navigator's like
crazy.
been listening to what the captain says because the captain's just saying north, west, south.
Yeah.
And so the navigator is drawing on this little transparent board because we're both using the same map. They're drawing just the north and south and west, and they're trying to move it around to see, like, okay, they would have ran into an island if they went this way. Maybe they're over here, and they try to get an idea.
Trying to slowly pinpoint where they
right.
are.
And then we're using our sonar and our drones to get certain sectors on the map, and then we're all of a sudden, like, we're hot on the trail, and then me as the captain, I'm like, go north, fire that torpedo! And he's just like, they're not ready. We can't do it. Fire it. Fire it out.
Hitting stuff with a wrench, trying to fix it.
Oh, man. Yeah, and it totally, like, I got totally swept up in that feeling of, like, being in a movie.
Yeah, and we got to play 2 games. The first game we won. The first game was like, everyone except for one person hadn't played before. So we were all new. And the first game was great. We ended up winning. And the second game, we all had a little bit more of an idea of what we were doing. And the second game was nuts because literally the last like third of the game, we were just like circling each other, like firing a torpedo, like miss. We're like, okay, we know they're right here, fire a torpedo, no miss. We're like, okay, and we were just like circling each other.
We had to surface at one point right at the end, and they were coming for us. And so we're trying to do this little outline drawing thing so that we can submerge and move, and it was just a great like cat and mouse chaser game, but it was action packed.
Yeah, it was nuts. I mean, it was. So much fun.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely so much fun.
For me, it was easily number 1 for the list just because that is the perfect kind of convention experience that you want to have. You want to get together with these games that are crazy, that need a ton of people, and, you know, it's kind of hard to get a bunch of people around the same table at the same time, but a convention is the place to do something like Captain Sonar.
It's like it's a perfect convention game because we've been wanting this game for a while, but we haven't bought it because we never have 8 people to play a game with. If we do, some Captain Sonar is probably not their kind of game.
Yeah,
and it's like we'd probably play it like once or twice a year, and ultimately we'll probably end up someday we'll find it on sale somewhere and probably get it. But it's one of the things like that's such a good convention game because you just put it up. Like 2 guys had it, and they had a little players wanted sign, and we went and joined them, and it was amazing.
Tables. It looks super cool. It's inviting. If ever you get the chance to play like an 8-player game, everyone's just there having fun. It is absolutely a great half hour of your time.
Just the best, yeah.
Yeah, super fun. I can't wait to play more and try different roles. I only played as the captain, but I want to see what the engineer's like. It's a whole different game, kind of.
It really is.
And it was a ton of fun. So that is our number 1 for Gateway 2017.
Number 1.
Yeah. So Strategicon, they put on a great show for us. I mean, it was a ton of fun. We got to play in a Clank tournament, which was super cool. You can hear a little bit more about my experience with the Clank tournament on our Metagame Minute, rather my Metagame Minute from this week. So do check that out. And they were just really great people. We got to meet a ton of you guys out there and sit down and play some games. And that was just a highlight for me as well. Yeah. So thank you for coming out and saying hi. And we really hope to get to more conventions in the future and just play a ton more Captain Sonar. I mean,
come on,
right?
Gotta play more than that.
Sheesh.
All right, well, that is it for us in this inaugural Hot 6.
Hot 6, take 1, we'll call it. I don't know, Hot 6. A bit of golf left. Getting through it. Wow.
Doing okay. So that is it. Until next time, I have been Nick Murphy.
I've been Mike Murphy.
We are the Brothers Murph, and we will catch you later.